All right, Jeff Booth is tracking all of this because I feel like things are going to change yet again.
Yes, they are. Actually, we're starting to see some of that snow work into some of our areas just to the north, and we've been getting some snow up that way in some spots all day long. Here's what we're looking at right now. You can notice that the Weather Service has scaled back those winter storm warnings. And why is that? Are they out of the woods? No, actually, these counties where they've been scaled back and those warnings have been scaled back now have ice storm warnings. And that's where we're going to be picking up some very thick ice. We've already had a lot of it here. Actually, I walked out, looked at my car, had a pretty nice glaze on it, about a tenth of an inch, maybe a little less. But yeah, it's pretty icy out there. And we're still looking at this kind of this rain, snow, sleet, ice line right here. And we're looking at more snow up in the north. So pretty good snow banding as we move on up in towards really parts of Crawford County, Bucyrus, on into Shelby and Mansfield, also out towards Mount Vernon, Mount Gilead, looking at some of that, some heavier snow as well, Marysville on through Delaware. Now here in town, we're talking about mainly sleet and a little ice, Washington Courthouse into Circleville, Columbus as well. Get a little closer to town. You can see that stretches into New Albany, Gahanna, Pataskala, getting some of that sleet or ice out towards Buckeye Lake and Zanesville as well, even up towards Cambridge. You can see we are starting to see the leading edge of this push on into Athens and Athens County. Chillicothe looking at some of that, and still some rain out in far southeastern Ohio. We widen out and you can kind of see that we have been dealing with this nasty weather throughout the morning. And this rain, snow, sleet line, this really has not moved a whole lot. It's going to push a little bit south. And as it does, we're going to watch our precip change over to all snow as we head through the early to mid-afternoon time frame. And jumping on up towards the Columbus Zoo, you can kind of see a few flakes flying out that way. So they're already starting to see a little bit of a change just north of the city. Here in town, not as much, a bit of that sleet out there. No, a few flakes showing up on the camera here. Looks like we've got some ice pellets being reported out at the airport. 29 degrees, that's the current temperature with wind chill values at right around 19. Elsewhere, we've got those temperatures that are in the mid to upper 20s and low 30s. Notice, too, we're starting to get those temperatures down to that freezing mark as you move into southeastern Ohio. That's going to start to turn over to some snow, all that rain down that way. But we do have wind chill values in the single digits and the low double digits, right around 19 here in town. So all said and done, roughly about a tenth to a quarter of an inch of ice here in town, upwards of around a quarter of an inch to about a half of an inch out in southern Ohio, with a few spots getting a little more than that. Snow-wise, I think metro area about 3 to 7 mainly, but north of I-70 roughly about 4 to 7, and then in the direct south about 3 to 5. Far north could get upwards of around 10, maybe a little more. But as you get into southeastern Ohio, these totals really drop off, and that's because you're looking at mainly ice and sleet throughout this event. So this is going to be a pretty impactful event, and we'll be dealing with high impacts on both the roads, also with the winds and the travel. All that's going to be affected. You can see this changeover happening through the afternoon, getting some snow by 7 o'clock, really by 4 into 7, and then we continue to see some snow into the evening and overnight hours. That snow starts to move on out of here, heading on through the day tomorrow. That'll set us up for a very cold one tomorrow. 30 today, temperatures are going to be dropping a little bit. We're at 22 degrees tomorrow, 1 below on Saturday, back up to 21, and you can see those temperatures stay cold throughout the 10-day, but we're in the mid-30s by midweek and beyond. Now we're going to get on over to Mackenzie Bart. She is out in all of this, and there's a lot of ice out there on those trees, Mackenzie.